fancy music on. What do you think this is, the funeral?
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to another episode of The Last Episode, where I, your host, Jalil Will, am judge, jury, and executioner. My credentials are as follows. I have a podcast, an opinion, and I'm a grown-ass man. So let's get it. Executioner. That's something that I added from the last time, right? You know, trying out new little intros and things of that nature, and you say executioner, judge, and jury. I get it, you know what I'm saying? Talking about shows, giving opinions and all that, which way, nonsense, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But executioner, what are you talking about? Well, think about this. Think about in Thor, right, in Ragnarok, what Hela was talking about. You know, Odin had Hela as his executioner, someone to execute the visions, you know, my visions, but also just to execute. When I say execute, I mean kill it. Kill it. We're here to try to kill it every episode. You know what I'm saying? Do a great job, give you great content, and a fun episode to listen to. So that's what we're talking about here. Okay, when we say executioner. You feel me? Yes, you do. Now, last time we did a podcast, it was 2 weeks ago. I didn't give you a podcast last week. I'm sorry. All right. I'm giving you a podcast now. We're not going to focus on the past, okay? Just know Jalil has some personal stuff I've been going through. Okay, so I needed to take last weekend. But we're back again with another episode of The Last Episode. With that, right, the last time we did the pod, we talked about the first 2 episodes of Bad Batch. Now we've had episodes 3 and 4. And episode 3 was meh. You know, it's just okay because there wasn't anything too exciting that happened in it. It almost just kind of felt like a filler episode. I mean, the only thing I really got from the episode was Crosshair's an even bigger asshole with that inhibitor chip all the way turned up on max than he was before. There's some weird creatures, there's even more weird creatures. We already knew there were weird creatures in this world, in this universe. And I like the Kaminoans less and less each time they're involved in some shit. Other than that, there wasn't anything really special that happened during... Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that. There wasn't anything really exciting that happened during that episode for me. Take a quick swig of water. The whole episode was just kind of blah. The whole thing with them losing power, crashing, having to, you know, go after the creature. I didn't care for any of that. It didn't really move me. Now, so we're not going to focus on episode 3. We're going to talk a little bit about episode 4. And we're going to give some love to Ming-Na Wen, okay? Because she's a beast. And we're just going to give her praise for the multiple roles that she's played. She's played a lot of, and you have to look some of the other stuff up, but she's played a lot of roles for Disney in one way or another. She was the original Mulan. She their character in Mandalorian, and now here in Bad Batch, Fennec Shand, you know, bounty hunter and the beast with it, right? When she was fighting and all that, just what we expect from a character. She's amazing, very skilled. Wrecker couldn't even touch her, literally. He didn't even get to really throw a punch. And of course, her role as Agent May and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., in which if you've been listening to the podcast and you listen to my 6 for 6 breakdown, you know how much I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I love Agent May. So big shouts out to her and her continued amazing work that she continues to put forth time after time, because that was one of my favorite episodes. The whole thing was fun. It was one big chase episode and shit like that. The character is not one that we see often, so bringing her in and letting her make an impact like that to where she's contributing for the whole episode, I thought was pretty cool. The Bad Batch storyline of I just love the whole thing, right? The Order 66 was the biggest moment, right? We talk about a lot of people talk about why Infinity War with the Avengers was so amazing and impactful, right? And one of the things that I always say is that Avengers Infinity War is not necessarily an Avengers movie, though they're all in it. It's a Thanos movie. It's Thanos' origin story, kind of, less his origin story, but, his introductory film. That's why he wins in the end. It was about him and his mission and his goal. He accomplished that, and it's very rare that you see the bad guys win and accomplish a goal on that scale. But we have seen it before with Star Wars in Order 66, right? It was so impactful. It's such a monumentous moment on pretty much everything in the Star Wars universe has been built around Order 66. If you really think about it, everything has been about that from the very beginning. So, at least if as far as the war and the Jedi and saying the separatists, all that shit is concerned, Order 66 is paramount to everything that happened. And so seeing the fallout from the point of view, the perspectives of some clones, but not just any clones. Now we're talking about the Bad Batch, who are, resilient, you know what I'm saying? They're not susceptible to the Order. So they're maneuvering it from this completely isolated kind of area, perspective is really interesting. So I love I forgot to put my phone on silent. Hold on. Getting Twitch notifications and shit like that. Oh man, I don't care who's streaming right now. Yes. So as I was saying, the perspective of us getting to see it from the Bad Batch's point of view is just great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. With that said, talking about Order 66, Bad Batch, how I love the storyline, talking about Ming-Na Wen and her character in the show, Fennec. I trust Omega even less now, even though I think she's adorable. I think she's adorable. She's the sweetest thing. But I just don't trust her. And it's not her fault. She is programmed, They say there's something's wrong with her and she's faulty or something like that. I don't know what that could be. She says she's just like the members of the Bad Batch in a way that she doesn't belong. I don't know in what way that could be. I haven't really seen many, if any, women clones, so maybe that was supposed to be the quote-unquote defect. Don't get mad at me. I'm not saying being a woman is a defect. That's not what I mean. I'm just trying to figure out what they would be considering, something that would be off about her production, where she would feel like she's not a part of anything, And like I said, pretty much all the clones we've ever seen have been men. So with that said, I just don't know what it could be. But I don't trust her still. I don't trust her. Through no fault of her own. Well, something I noticed her, when in episode 4 during the chase scene when they were riding the vehicles and running throughout the city, when she started to fall, when Omega started to fall and Hunter grabbed her out of the air. I thought that was just cool because it was Hunter, and I just felt like it had to be Hunter, right? I don't think that Tech Echo Wrecker it could have made that catch. It was very precise, and that's what his skills are, right? To the enhanced instincts thing. So I thought that was pretty cool, and understanding of who the character is, right? And then fall back and then throw the bomb that landed so perfectly and a move that that was a slick move, right? To kind of drop back like that and toss it with that precision. I feel like that's definitely Hunter using some of his abilities, in which they're not as easy to just see, tangibly, like Wrecker's super strength, or easy to, Tech and how smart he is and all that shit echo the different things that have been done to him. And so now he's all super effective at a lot of this techie shit as well. Hunter's value sometimes is harder to see unless you kind of know what to look for, right? It's things like that. Hunter's always right. He's always precise. And I think that's a cool thing as well. I like Hunter, though Wrecker is still my favorite character. He's definitely still my favorite character. That's not, there's no contest. I love how he's all about the action, always ready to jump in and be with the business. He's not trying to talk. He's not trying to have some super complex plan. He just wants to dive in and stack bodies up. And I respect that. That's my shit. I love the chaos of it. Just a great character. Let's see. Anything else I wanted to really touch on? No, there's not too much yet for me to touch on in the regard of the story, because we're still just waiting for it to unfold. Though I am still curious as to Caleb and what's going on with Caleb, since we haven't seen him since the first episode. Remember the young Jedi that Hunter let escape when Order 66 was first cast. That started the beef with him and Crosshair. Yeah. Very interested to see what's going on with Caleb and how he's going to come back, because he has to come back around sometime. You have to see what's going on with the young Padawan. Speaking of young Padawans, so I finished Clone Wars, okay? I finished the Clone Wars. I watched the movie, right, where they first introduced Ahsoka in the first place. And then I watched the entire series, all 7 seasons. It took me a while. I had kind of wanted to see if I could finish it before Bad Batch started, but I wasn't able to. Like I said, there's been a lot of stuff going on in my life. It's been distracting, so I wasn't able to finish before Bad Batch started, but I finished now. And boy, let me say, god damn, that was a good-ass series. I think I might not have mentioned on the podcast before how I felt about some of the seasons, but let me just reiterate again. Season 1 I thought was really good. Season 2 I thought was cool. Season 3 was there was some boring parts to it that I didn't really get into as much, but I stuck with it. Right, and season 4 was good again. Season 5, 6, and 7, all great seasons from there out. So overall, I give the show an A. Clone Wars was very good, and so much so that I kept talking about it to my dear mother, who is also a big Star Wars fan, but she's never been into watching animated anything really, animated series. I mean, she liked the Incredibles movie, but who doesn't? Who didn't like the Incredibles movie? Yeah, shit was phenomenal. But she doesn't just get into any of the animated stuff really like that. But I kept talking about it, and now she's watching it as well. And because she's, like I said, a big Star Wars buff. She loves Star Wars, Star Trek, all that shit. She's the one that got me into it when I was young. And now she's watching Clone Wars, and she already told me she's watched numerous episodes and she likes it. And I'm like, yes, got him. I knew it. I knew you like it. See, some of us adults, I mean, I want to say us because I still watch Dragon Ball Z, but there's people out there who don't watch animated shows or movies because they feel like they're just for kids or something like that, No. It is a common misconception, but these movies are not just for children, most of them, a lot of them are not for children at all. They have a lot of, blood, guts, whatever, depending on whatever animated thing you're watching. crass language and all types of shit that's not for kids. Uh, we just have to get out of that mindset. People have to get out of that mindset because there's a lot of great content out there that people are putting out, and of course, as those who watch it know, it being animated just gives them more freedom to do cool shit in the shows or movie, whatever they're putting out. So I'm down. I'm down, down, down. I love the Clone Wars. I'm loving Bad Batch. Aside from episode 3 and 3 out of 4 episodes is solid. Is a very great job so far. I don't recall how many episodes there's supposed to be of Bad Batch, but I'm looking forward to many seasons. I hope we get multiple seasons of Bad Batch because I like the group. Just like multiple seasons of Clone Wars. The whole, I don't know what's my favorite storyline of the group, but there's so many characters that I loved. Ahsoka is probably my favorite character. She was just great from start to finish. The way she came in talking shit to Anakin from the beginning and just kind of was a baby him almost, just doing her own thing, not always listening, flying off the seat of her pants and all that shit, whatever that saying is, you know what I'm talking about. Frustrating to teach, just like Anakin was. So it was perfect. And Ventress was a great character. Dooku was a great character. Grievous was cool. He was alright. He was more just a fascinating character in the terms of being a Jedi, fighting with lightsabers, but never really using the Force in the same way that the other Jedis and Sith used it. It was very interesting, and the 4 lightsabers very annoying, very annoying. That's cheating. Nobody could ever touch the Siths in a fight either. That shit was annoying as hell, except for Maul. Darth Maul got bested numerous times, unfortunately. Them bringing him back, I thought was very interesting. It's not something I expected. It was phenomenal. Very well done with Savage, his brother. That whole storyline was great. That fight with Savage and Maul versus Obi-Wan by himself, 2-on-1, was one of the best lightsaber fight scenes that I've seen in any of the shows, movies, any of that. It was great. Just because Obi-Wan, how he had learned from his last battle with them and adjusted, and the whole thing, if you saw it, was great. Count Dooku and how nobody could touch him when they try to execute him, whether it was his old protege and Padawan, or apprentice rather. They don't call them Padawans with the Siths. His old apprentice Ventress trying to jump him. Anakin and Kenobi went after him, and with 2-on-1, he was blinded in one fight, when he had been asleep in the middle of the night, and they woke up and he couldn't really see because they did use some magic to kind of blind him, and then they tried to jump him 3-on-1 and they still couldn't touch him. That boy Dooku was a fucking menace. He was a problem. And it was all just extremely well done, especially the later seasons when they really started to implement all of the stuff that happened in the movies into the shows, and it just made everything so fascinating. We've seen Order 66 come through in the movies, in the Clone Wars, and now in Bad Batch, and I just can't get enough of it. Like I said, it's fascinating. The whole thing, the whole plan is so genius. It's so genius and diabolical to implant that in the clones from the beginning, before the war started and all what was coming. My God, the foresight! You never stood a chance. You never stood a chance, and he had no idea the game was over before you hit start. And that shit is that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. Very well done on all fronts. Star Wars is just an amazing story, all encompassing. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I'm going to go ahead and shut it down now. It's been fun discussing Bad Batch and Clone Wars with you. And we're going to have more to discuss as we get closer to Loki, which is dropping June 11th, I believe. No, not June 11th, because June 11th is a Friday, and because my birthday is on the 13th of June, and they said it's dropping on Wednesdays. June 7th? Is it the 7th? Somewhere around there. I'm excited, though. I can't wait. Let's look it up real quick. Loki release date. June 9th. There it is. That's what it is. June 9th. So I'm going to be excited to talk about that. And since it drops on a Wednesday, we're not going to be waiting till Saturday to do the podcast. We will adjust. The podcast for Loki's episodes will come on Thursdays. Okay. They might even come on that Wednesday. I haven't quite decided that part out yet. I'm going through a bit of a thing with my job. And I don't know what's final yet. So once I figure that part out, then I'll let everyone know. But you know where to find me, at Jalil Will on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, The Last Episode Podcast. You can find me. I'm trying to do a little bit more streaming, you know what I'm saying? So come in, say what's up. Let's talk Avengers. Let's talk Star Wars. Let's talk whatever, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk sports. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. But I hope everybody enjoyed the podcast today. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the pod, share with a friend. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. And if you disagree with some of my opinions, I would love to talk about it. That's what we're here for, baby. But until next time, because you know how we do.
Sun's getting real low.
We out.